John 6:60. Polloi un accusantes ekton matheton autou epon, skleros esten ha logos houtos, tis donatai autou akouein. Here Jesus has just finished teaching in the synagogue in Capernaum here about the necessity of eating his flesh and drinking his blood. The focus has mainly been on this broad group of hostile Jews who followed him after the miraculous feeding, but now there's a reference to disciples, maybe broadly just those who had been following him, learning from him, somewhat committed to him. We find that many of them are not so committed. So, many out of the disciples of him, many out of his disciples, when they heard this, they said, Apon, you'll notice there has the first aorist endings, the alpha endings encroaching on the second aorist stem. Sometimes we find that. That's just a second aorist active indicative third person plural, again starting at the beginning here. So many from his disciples, when they heard, I'm translating that as an adverbial temporal participle. Perhaps it could be after they heard implied these things. There's both a temporal and a causal sense. It's both when they heard this and because they heard that, and when sort of conveys that in English. It can convey it. When they heard this, because they heard this, they said, this word is hard. And of course, in Greek, logos doesn't always just mean a singular word. It can mean a teaching. It can mean all kinds of different discourse units. And so here it's referring to Jesus' teaching, right? This teaching is hard. It's difficult. It's demanding. It's harsh, they're saying. Who is able, and that's a verb, just asking, just wanting, just wishing to be completed with a complementary infinitive. Most infinitives end in ein or I. This is just a present active infinitive of akouo. Who is able to hear it? Who is able to hear it? Remember, the verb akouo frequently takes a genitive object, so we're not surprised to find the it there in the genitive. And it's masculine singular because its antecedent is the masculine singular noun word or message or teaching. Who's able to hear it? In other words, who can hear this favorably so as to accept it?